Waiting for this to come up so you guys can see me. All right. Welcome, everyone. Hello, Justin. Industrial, how are you doing? We're just getting started up here on the live stream. I need the help of basically every single FPVer out there because I have a whole bunch of stuff that I need to identify. And I did get a controller for some. I already know that some of these drones, but not all of them. There's a lot. First off, I want to thank some friends of mine from Bird's Eye Aerial Drones for contributing all these Cinewhoops and these tiny whoops, or whatever it is you call them. It has taken me a while to sort through most of them to see exactly what it is we're dealing with. And I can tell you right now, there's a lot. And I did have to order a 4-in-1 controller because I know a lot of this stuff is FR Sky as far as receivers are concerned. But realistically, we're trying to figure out what drone is what people like, what people remember, and what people are interested in using now, because I got to find homes for these things. I have 20 of them or more. Not to mention these old, I think it's Libri 280 Hawks. I modified this one to hold a GoPro camera, and I'm running it on a Fly Sky receiver. This one is totally cool. Runs on a 4S pack or 3S pack. Actually, 4S is what I'm running. The 15 or the 850s right here. So this is a good drone. I don't know why people don't like this tech anymore or don't use it. I don't see very many videos about it on YouTube at all. But we have a ton of Cinewhoops to go through, and I'm going to show you one of them right now because some of these are crazy. I have no idea what they are, and I have no idea how to identify. So I bought a Zorro Radio Master 4-in-1 controller, which is going to cover most of the protocols for most of these drones. But I need help from you guys out there on actually identifying this stuff. And once again, all of this stuff was donated by my friends at Bird's Eye Aerial Drones. They do a lot of land surveying, LiDAR, construction surveying. They have done so many missions, line work, you name it, and they're a really great company. They're veteran owned. Again, I'm wearing their hat. I'm drinking out of their water bottles, and I'm showing off all the stuff that they gave me to just help me out, which is totally awesome. It's an awesome family, an awesome company, and I honestly appreciate everything that they gave to me. And I wanted to share it with you guys. So you need to help me identify these things because I have no idea what I'm looking at. I have so many of them. So as soon as we get the people in here, so I assume these are 4-in-1 protocol. I think this is FR Sky. Can anyone identify this drone? Now, I could have used AI to do this, but I didn't want to use AI to do this because I wanted to give you guys a chance who are in this Cinewhoop mini category to kind of give me an idea of what it is I'm holding in my hand here. So we'll start with this one. We have another one here. It's just kind of different. I know this is like an Emax style, This one holds one or two 2S batteries, and I believe it's also FR Sky. I don't know what protocol to use. Trojan horse tracking device? Possibly, possibly. We don't know, but there is a ton of these. I have a ton of these drones. So we've got those two there. I will show you one of these other ones here. Somebody 3D printed a case on this one. But tell me if you can see that one okay. I'm not exactly sure what drone this is right here. It does take it looks like an XT30 connector 2S, I'm guessing, or I doubt it's 3. But that's a cool drone right there. I don't know what kind of camera it's in it. Honestly, I'm not going to know anything about them until I get the Zorro controller here from Radio Master and see, because it does have that 4-in-1 protocol. And then we can go through all of these. We have everything from those style of drones to, well, this one's got the battery still in it. Cool. To these style here, I don't know if you recognize, this looks like a blade of some kind. But it does got the 3S battery. That's a 3S. So this one probably screams. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna have to charge that one up as soon as that controller gets here and take these out. I do have another blade over there. It's branded blade. And well, thank you for that, CG. I appreciate that. So realistically, the idea behind this today is we have that. We have smaller ones like this. I personally can't identify. I'm thinking beta FPV. I don't know if any of this looks familiar to anybody, but we have a whole bunch of these. I'm telling you right now, these drones are going to find a home with some of you guys, because I have no idea if I can use all of. I mean, it'd be cool if I could run them all on the same protocol, and I would just fly them all at once. That'd be like a little choreographed drone swarm of sorts. So there's another one there, and then there's this other style we have here. What does this say on there? I don't even know what that says. Does anybody recognize that one at all? Because I don't know if the camera's focusing on it or not. I'm trying to get it to. Any of that look familiar? This looks like another 1S style here. Yeah, it's definitely a 1S. Oh, it powers up. That's a good thing. So when I get the controller, I'll be able to do that. We've got another one here. It's got an interesting. I assume these are racing drones, like small racing drones. I don't know. I'm like really, really confused at all of this. I have so many of these. We also have this style here. This looks like either a 2S or no, it's a 1S. It's just a bigger pack. So I don't know what the brand of this one is here. This is why I wanted you guys here today, because I wanted to kind of show all these off. And I even have these. I purchased some antennas for these that'll be coming in. These are the goggles that I have a couple of sets of these. You basically scan it and it hooks up to it. So I have whole setups here, minus the radio for. So if you guys have a radio that is a 4-in-1 that runs that protocol, I've got the drone for you. And we're going to be doing a giveaway in the next couple of videos here. And I have. How long has it been since somebody seen one of these? I think my stream froze. Either my internet froze or not. Okay, there we go. We've got the 350 200 QX. I used to have a 350 QX from Blade myself, and it was a cool drone. But I don't know if it has a proprietary controller like the 350QX did. I could be wrong on that one. We have two more of these Libre 280 Hawks, and I don't know why people don't use these. I couldn't find videos on this at all. Maybe one or two over the course of a month trying to figure out more about these. People don't use them. I took this out and I flew it. It flies great, even with the GoPro on the top and a 4S on the bottom. It's got some power. Um, I mean, it's just it works great. I don't know why people aren't using these still. Even I know it's 2015 and all, but I mean, if it works, it works. You know, it works really well. Yeah, yeah, they are small drones. I have another one here. Um, I assume I don't know what branding this one is. Um, I'd have to identify them from the boards. They all have. This is another mini. Wow, is that a 3 yet? It's not a 3 yet. Is that a XT30? It looks smaller than XT30. Oh, but we have this one here as well. They're all camera drones, and they all have to find a new place to live. We have this one here, but see, I'm assuming these are racing drones, and not just I'm guessing they're indoor racing drones. I know that these things have gotten a lot bigger and a lot better since you know whenever these came out. Some of these are those brushed motors on the smaller ones, but like on these other ones here, like this one here, has got the brushless motor on it. And I'm insanely curious about this one here and definitely this one here because they definitely look like they have some decent motor on them. I love those Batwing style blades they got on it. Oh, the lens cap. I think came off of it. Yeah, lens cap came off. Oh, get it? But a lot of the other stuff that I have here is stuff that people probably could still use. Like, okay, for example, I have a whole bunch of these props. Okay, these are the 21 for the DJIs. I don't know which drone they're for, but I have a whole bunch of extra props for this. I could probably build a drone and use these, but I have several sets of these. I have a set of four of these carbon fiber props here. These are really cool. Don't know what size motor those go on, but we're gonna figure that out. See, that's what I mean. Is I got this whole box of just mystery stuff. I know what these are, and I know what everyone else is gonna say. Phantom, anyone? I mean, it's a never ending supply here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20, and plus two more of the Libre 280 Hawks. And then this little thing right here, which I did try flying earlier because it's on a little one cell button that it runs on. I have chargers for this kind of stuff. Yeah, they are tiny drones. They are small, but the cool part about it is we have all of these different kinds to play with. And once I get that Zorro in, we're gonna try and bind them all up and fly. This is another blade. It's a 1S looks like. We have 1, 2, and 3S setups here. So like between this class here, which is a 3S, and then we've got the 1S here. The batteries that I have, there's a whole bunch of 1S and 2S batteries and 3S batteries. Some of the little 1S's are puppy, so I don't want to really charge those. I might take them outside and like detonate those just to make sure that they burn off instead of accidentally outgassing in the house. It is only a 1S, but you know how lithium battery fires can go. You got to be really, really careful with those things. I'm also insanely interested in flying this one here. The goggles are cool because they scan across, at least these goggles scan across the bands So any one of these VTXs that are transmitting can be picked up by these. So that's realistically what we're going for. And Drone King, not quite. I have a lot of drones though. And I have a really, really big one. I wish I could show you guys, but I can't until the DARPA Lift Challenge. So um, that's going to happen in Ohio, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base on August 2nd through the 9th. I know that Flight Test will be there doing Flight Fest, and they are grouping up with the DARPA Lift Challenge, which I have an entry in for. And it took me a while to build, which is why I haven't had a lot of long run content I put out there. I do have some planes coming in that we're going to be taking out to fly. And we're going to do a review on that. Some powered gliders that I really enjoy. We are going to stay with the experimental drone aspect of everything, but we're going to be doing a lot of stuff along with it. So it's not going to be just me building experimental stuff in the shop. We're going to get these Cinewhoops, I guess. Are they Cinewhoops? Someone tell me, are they called Cinewhoops? I don't know. I'm actually quite the noob when it comes to the whoops. I'll tell you that right now. So if you guys can help me out on that one, it's going to be very, very, very helpful. And we will be rehoming these. I know someone may look at them and go, "Those aren't worth anything," but if someone's a beginner in this and they're kind of just getting into the hobby, or they just they can't because some of these are expensive, and maybe you can't pick one up. I mean, I ain't got a problem. You know, we're gonna set up a raffle one way or another. I don't know what brand this is. It looks cool though. They all have these cameras. They all have VTXs. This is looks like a dual S1 as well. So this runs off of S2. And some of these are like that where they have that dual S1 plug. Or 1S plug, and then it's just got this 3D printed mount on the bottom. So I don't know if that was a conversion or what, but it's definitely a unique one to see these tiny ones with those different motors and these different setups. And these motors are different. They're not the brushless. They're like the tiny little brushless motors, not the brushed motors. Like the small, like the Blade, that also has brushless. What I mean is in comparison to these, where you have these small kind of, tiny brushed motors, a lot of these have the brushless motors. And this one runs, does this one power up? Let's see if it'll power up. Gosh. Let's make sure I don't do it the wrong way, right? The wrong way, right. Oh my gosh. There you go. Check that out. Now, I don't know what protocol this uses, but we know it works. So if this is FR Sky, then we know I can bind to it with the Zorro that I got. So once that Zorro radio from Radio Master comes in, I will try and get this in a binding mode. This one's got a 3S on it. That's a 3S on that little drone. I'm betting money this thing scoots. So this is definitely a racer for sure, if I had to guess. So I'm gonna be careful with that one. I don't want to ruin that one. And the cool part is I'll be able to scan. It's got the camera on it, so I'll be able to scan with the goggles. And as soon as you pick up the signal, you know you got it. I did get some little lollipop antennas for it for the goggles. So when those get here, like I said, I have two of the goggles. So like if I do the raffle and somebody picks out a drone and we do a specific raffle, like the first couple of winners, they'll get a set of goggles with it. I don't know. I don't even know what brand these are, to be honest with you. Does it say on there? Yeah. I don't know if that's like a good brand or if it's like mediocre, but they work because I have one connected to this Libre 280 Hawk down here with the GoPro on it. Can you see that? Hold on, let me try and get it to focus. Focus. Okay. Hold on. I'm getting it. I'm trying. All right. So hopefully you got to see what that one is. That's still have the protective cover on it. It does. That's how new this stuff is. Like some of it was never used. Anyway, regardless of the brand, I know they work because it does. Because I did use it on this one with with the camera that was on here, and I removed the camera on this one because I was flying at line of sight, and I didn't want to waste the battery power on the VTX. And I know there's dip switches on the inside to shut it off, so I put the GoPro on there so I could get some pretty cool footage. I'm gonna do some high speed runs over at the park and orchard and stuff like that. So there'll be another video on this coming up, and I have two more of these. I have two more of these. All you have to do is have an old Fly Sky radio with an old Fly Sky receiver. Um, I think they need 5 channels, 6 channels at least, I believe. And they're piled up over here. I also have, and I'll be sending these out too, because I don't know if some of these are discontinued or if you can still get them. Well, I have a whole myriad of just different styles of, tri blades and different props, different brands, you name it. Including, I don't know if anybody has DJI drones that could use these, but I have a whole bunch. Some are in the box, some aren't, but they're in great shape. And they're for DJI drones. I don't know if it says on there which one it's for. It just says Ultra Carbon 21. So it's got the metal centerpiece on there. So we do have a lot of that. And I don't know if anyone's still flying around a Phantom, but I got a set of props for you. That might be something that's interesting to still have around, an extra set of Phantom props. What else we got here? We got this looks like a cheapy little brushed one, but it's got like a big battery bay in it. Like it holds like a big fat battery, and the remote for it has a screen on it, which is kind of weird because it doesn't have a camera. But what I want to get this one going. But if you see like some of the batteries that we have here are older. There's some of the. This is a 4S. Wow, that's a 4S pack. Look at that. A little 500 million 550. 3 XT30 and another 3S XT30 plug. That'll go with this one here. So, well, no, that was thinner. It's a 3S, but it's not the same milliamps. It's a smaller battery. It's like 3 1Ss. So this is what I figure out. I got so much of the stuff to go through, and this is what I need you guys for. I need you guys to go through all of this. There's another 3S 55. The batteries, for the most part, for me doing the testing on them, are in good. They're in decent condition here, and we got a ton of batteries sitting there. What I think my guess is the more expensive ones are like this one, the 3S. This one here, because of the carbon fiber frame, I'm just guessing, and because of the motor styles that they use, these are both 3S. And I think honestly, this has got a big strap on it here. Sounds horrible. But I think like this would take one of the big fat 3S ones right here. Yeah. There we go. All right, let's see if we got power. Will it power up? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We have a functional drone. Nice. I cannot wait for that radio to get here so I can get all these things tested out. in the air. If anyone has experience with these drones, what is the standard protocol that they use for this? Now, I did get the Zorro 4-in-1. This will also take a 1S plug. Oh, no, that's the battery. Okay. So my question is, now that I know that those battery goes with that, let's set that here. Let's move the Libre over a little bit. So we know that the 3S runs this one, but it's not as big a battery holder that's on there. So there's got to be a smaller. We have a battery box here. Let's dig through it and see what happens. I'm wondering if they got this 4S. I don't know. I'm afraid to hook up the 4S to this one. I figured 3S because that's the way the strap was set for it. But I don't know which one of these takes a 4S. We know this one takes a 3S, but it's got the 1S batteries on it. So let's do this. First off, this is just a little mini fun drone. Let's move that one out of the way. We have a battery box here, so let's go through that and see what we got. These are the for the Libre here. Move that out of the way over there. So the 4S one is the one we're going to find. We know this 3S is going to go with this one, or this one. No, not this one. It's going to go with this one or this one. This looks like another 3S. We have a box of batteries here. There's another 3S for this one here. Still don't know about the 4S. We have, this is a 1S 500 milliamp. I'm going to guess it's not this one, because this one's an XT30 plug. So we got to have another XT30 plug in here somewhere. That's an interesting plug. See, you can understand my confusion now at all of this, because we have all these different types of 1S batteries here. Like these here. Just tons of different styles of batteries. And I'm at a loss, to be honest with you. But there's a bunch of 1S's here. The problem with this is this one's got a 3S or an XT30 on it. And I don't see another XT30 that fits in this pack. That's what's kind of bugging me. So I don't know if this looks like it's going to be a 2S, just from the width of that holder that they've got on there. Or it could be 3S. I don't know. I got to figure out what board this is and see what it can do. I mean, what exactly we're talking about as far as what we're going to run on it. Is it going to be a 3S? Is it going to be a 4S? We know a lot of these are 1S, like these here. So these are going to be 1S. This one's also 1S. We got to find homes for these guys. We have to find homes for them. Let me get oh, one other question I had. What the heck is this? I mean, I know it's a radio controller, but I just don't know the brand. I think it said Newbie Drone or something like that. So I don't know if it's already bound to any of these that we see on the table here. Let me get this moved up. Let me move these props out of the way really quick. Because there's more stuff. There's a lot more stuff. And I'll tell you what we've got here in just a second. Set those down on the ground. I've got too much stuff up here. Okay. Let's move the Libre out of the way here. I have some room. So we have the Newbie. I think this is a Newbie controller. And I think one of these is a Newbie drone. I think it might be this one. Just guessing. But it's here's another 3S. but it's too thin for the packs that we have. We have 3S packs here and 4S packs here that don't fit this, but they might be in here because this is a whole box of batteries here. So I'm waiting for one of these to spall on me and just oh, we got another button cell we can try for that other little drone right there. That's cool. Well, it's actually bigger. I don't know what that one goes to. We have a couple other small. That's interesting. Well, one has a. They have a capacitor on it. Or am I seeing things? I don't know. And we got this style here. What I'm trying to do is find out which 3S fits this one. It looks like it's going to be like the same one that goes into this one. It's going to be a triple 1S to make a 3S. Not a high milliamp, but I'm curious. I'm very curious. So I'm gonna move this over here so we have some room. This is the I've got chargers like this for these batteries and stuff everywhere. I don't know what that battery goes to, but it's a I don't even know. Look at that plug. That's an interesting plug. That's one that's specific to a specific drone. That one's gonna be hard to track down. So we're gonna have to figure that one out. So we've got. Hold on, let me see what battery they got in this thing here. I know I got some right here. They are beautiful drones. I love them too. They're really cool. But the issue is, I know a lot of them are that protocol that was FR Sky or Beta FPV. I don't know if that's a protocol. We'll figure that one out. But let me grab 2 more batteries for this. We're gonna see if it's bound to this one. But the radio that I got is a 4-in-1 by Radio Master from called the Zorro, and it's basically a 4-in-1 protocol. So it should cover all of these so that I can test everything. But let me grab 2 more batteries. Hold on. Second. It's in the middle on me. Oh. Okay. Where you at? Why are you doing this to me right now? Okay, we'll worry about the lighting later, I guess. It's short somewhere. Okay. I had good lighting for a moment. So okay, let's figure this out. Let's figure it out together, man. So on here. Okay, make sure the switches are reset. Everything's down. Newbie drone. All right, so let's see which one of these is a newbie drone. That's a 3S. I'm wondering if it's bound to that one. It could be. I don't know. I know I got a pack here that sort of fits this one. Let me make some room for myself here, just in case it decides to take off. All right, so let's get this pack inserted. This may or may not be the pack that goes in here, or I don't know. Does it go in here? I feel like it's too tight of a fit. Giggity. Let's at least power it up and see. Hopefully it's a 3S and doesn't explode on me. Okay, 3S. But it's not. Yeah, it's definitely got some racing lights on the back. That's for sure. Okay. But I don't think it goes to this drone. I'm not entirely certain. I wouldn't know how to bind this thing, to be honest with you. Oh, wow, this has a menu. Mixing, setup. Let's enter setup. That doesn't help anything. Oh, that's the back button. Okay. Let's go to mixing, setup, bind. Okay. I assume, man, I am blind. Oh, man. I'm not going to know where the bind button is on this thing. You know what? Let's bind it to the one where it actually fits in the actual case here. There's got to be a bind button here somewhere. Bind. I assume there's a button. I don't know where it is. I need a flashlight. Bear with me, people. Bear with me. We're going to try and figure this out together. There's got to be a bind button on here. Oh, thank you. Is there a button, a black button on there? Anywhere?
Wait, I don't know anything.
Oh, don't worry. There's got to be a black button or something on there. We're trying to figure this out right now.
Like where the board is.
It'd be on the board, yeah. Because it's telling, because I don't know if it'll even bind to this, but if it's FR Sky, if this is FR Sky, it'll bind to it. I believe. We're going to find that out right now.
You may have to put your own special vehicles.
Yes, really?
I can't tell.
There has to be an easier way to bind this thing. Anybody else know?
Let me do this. Let me see.
Hey, is there a picture of it?
I can't. I don't know.
What?
I can. No, I don't know how to do
Yes, you can.
it.
Hold on. We also have a blade over here, but that's not going to bind to this. That's a one in. So this is newbie drone. So it's like, which one is the newbie drone? Because I don't know which. How easy it is. I know. You can't take the case off. I mean, you can, but it's like they wouldn't make it that hard to bind it. I would assume. And I don't see a bind button at the bottom of the board. Okay, so hold on. Let's set this one aside.
Let me see it.
Here. My faithful assistant. Let's find out what is what. See, now it's asking me to bind right now, but I don't know which one's going to bind up to. So I don't know which one of these is the newbie drone. I thought it was this one.
I'm trying to bind it.
Just because it's yellow, and that might have been presumptuous, but I've got. It's actually very presumptuous, but I don't know. That's the receiver for this one. So the what?
Enter brain mode to be at the button on the receiver. Go through your flight controllers.
Oh, well, no. What a lot of these have, like the newbie drone, a lot of them have just a bind button. And that's what I'm looking for right now. Hold on, let me see if we can find it. One of these is going to have a bind button right in the beginning. Of course, it's not going to be something I can find with my crappy bifocals.
You can put your goggles on.
You want to put my goggles on?
What about that one? It's pink.
Well, I'm trying to figure out which one is already bound to it. So we may just go through and plug up a 1S battery to this and see what we find out. Oh, whoa. Okay, so hold on a second. It's doing something.
See, pink is always the best.
What?
Pink is always the best.
Why is that cord so short? That might be the wrong. That's definitely a different battery style. I feel like it's no, not that one. There's a whole like slew of batteries here, but this cable's really short. So it makes me think that the battery itself has actually got a cable on it on the 1S side. But let's see if you can find out if there's anything that says it's a newbie drone. And it's literally new B drone. Like,
What do you mean? Look up. I'm supposed to look here.
yeah, because I'm trying to figure out which one goes to this radio.
It'll be in here.
No, not the battery.
What do you mean?
The drone. Any one of the drones. Like it's gonna be. I feel like it's this one. I feel like it's this one because it's yellow, or it could be this one, but I don't know. So I keep trying to power them up to see if they like, you know.
Just so you did this only for one run.
Well, no, I think it'll. I think if I figure out where the bind button is on these, that for the most part it'll bind to any one of them and has the same protocol, and that's really what I'm going for here. Did that blink? Okay. Hold on a second. We're gonna get there. You enjoying yourself, Justin? All right, we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out. We might figure it out. We probably won't figure it out until Lazaro gets here, but we're gonna try. Like this is a 3S. If this is FR Sky and I could find a damn bind button, then I'd be fine. Is there a black bind button on this anywhere?
These are the newbies.
Oh, okay. That's gonna be probably what this might be. What does that say on the top?
Or like the.
No, what does that say on the top? A whole box of batteries here. So,
Oh my God, it's going off.
gosh, the puffy battery. Let's find one that isn't so puffy. Okay, here. Let me do that. Puffy batteries scare me. Okay. Oh no, this is a different battery plug altogether.
Hi, Glory.
Hey, Glory, how's it going?
This is you last week.
I lost weight. I'll find it. Okay, so this is a different battery altogether. This one's specifically for this drone, which is sort of depressing. But it's puffy. It's a puffy battery. And it's dead. So I'm gonna have to find the charger for that one. This looks like it might be one of them. That might be one of them too. I think that you're onto something here.
It's these.
Okay.
Is it
So,
like this?
no, that's a
Oh, it's
blade.
blade. This the
Yeah.
little yellow one says blade on it too.
This one.
No, this one.
This is a little okay. This is a little 1S. Let's try this one.
Great, it looks like to me. Oh. Is that? No, that's not a button. No, right there.
Yeah, the old black button right there.
Yeah.
It's a bind button.
Maybe you can do it.
Oh, you're onto something now. Let's see what we got. This is a dual 1S. Hold on, let me try this one first. Don't rush me. All right. Let's plug this one up, see if it's got power. Not on. Oh no, it does. It's got power. Hold on.
That's so cute.
Let's see if we can. Dang it. All right, hold on. Let's see if we can. It's not bound to this one already. Is there a button? Hold on, let me plug it. I don't feel like I can see on top or on the bottom. This is going to be an issue I'm going to have. Where's the one you found with the button?
It's where'd it go?
What?
That one.
There's so many drones. I can't. Oh yeah, this is the one right here.
Okay.
Okay. Hold on, we need two 1S batteries for this one. Puppy battery. That's scaring me. I'm telling you right now.
So you have to throw those away?
I have to take them outside and I have to puncture them so they burn up.
Like my
Yeah. Okay, so this is a different 1S foot. This is what I'm talking about. This is strange. That's a 3S or that's a XT30 connector. Like some of these are XT30. Okay, so this, see, it's weird. I don't know what battery it takes. Oh, this one probably takes. I have no idea. We're gonna run with it here. Okay, here, put the light over here. Because once again, I am blind. There's one. There's one 1S. There's one 1S. There's two 1S. Did you find a plug for that? Or I'm sorry, did you find a binding button for that? Or did I find it?
In the blue one, but not on the one. Right?
I'm hooking up the wrong one.
Yeah.
What am I doing, man? There's too many drones.
I figured you had
I need you guys' help, man.
Can you hand me not mine, the purple one?
This one?
Yeah, is it not that one?
That one might. Yeah, check it out. It does? Okay.
Yeah. Right there?
It does. Yes. Okay. Okay. All right. We're gonna limit my frustration here. And but which one's bomb? Hold on.
Below that, you know, to the
If it starts grinding into my hand, we know we got somewhere. I assume. Do I have to hold one of them down and put it in binding mode, or is it? I'm holding it. See what it does. As it blows up in my face.
Press and hold the bind button until the status LED starts flashing green.
It's flashing. Well, it's saying it's blinking red, but I got all these different switches here, so I don't know if I have to arm one or what. But I may not even be connected to the right one. So it's like, okay, so it might not be that one. One of these it's got to be bound to. What? Okay, go ahead. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to just randomly plug in drones and see if one takes off. Okay. Okay, we did that one, I think. And this controller might not, because I don't know if this one actually went to any of the ones that I have. You would think it would. But identifying which ones exactly are newbie drones, and I think that these might be it right here, but it's hard to tell. So, okay, so I think what's going to end up happening is we're going to end up having to basically we're going to end up having to wait for the Zorro to come in so I can figure out what's what. I want to try and keep these 3S packs separate. So we have a bag here. I'm going to put the 3S. I'm sorry, the XT30 connector packs. I'm going to try and put in a separate bag, so that we have those separate for the drones we know take XT30. And then I think what we're going to do is, these are XT30. Some of these are 4S, so I don't know if some of these were designed to work on 4S or if I just have the battery. Like this is one I really want to fly. This is a really cool looking one, and everything's so friggin' dark. I can't see anything. I don't. I think Betaflight might be the controller for this. I'm not entirely certain. It could be Betaflight. If it is, I'll find out. Yeah, it's got an SD card on it. This is a triple stack. I'm sorry, this is a stack right here. It's not like the other drones. This has a flight controller and a separate ESC, 4-way ESC. So it is a little bit different. So I think this one is going to be something I could plug into Betaflight and actually program. It'll be one of those things where I update the firmware and so on and so forth. Because that's kind of what I went through with the lead. This one here, the 280 Hawk. And like I was saying before, it's 350 or 200 QX here. I've got a couple more of these, and I do have extra props for these. So all you need to make these work is propellers. And like I said, a standard fly sky radio. You can get them on Amazon pretty cheap. Get a little 6-channel receiver, and then wire it up to the JST port here, and then you're able to actually control this drone with a standard controller, no ELRS. It's 2.4 gigahertz, and it's old school but cool. Old school but cool. I've got 2 more of these, so these will be I'll be finding a home to someone for these. I just don't know if people want. I know a lot of people are into like the newer technology and things like that, but I'm going to be honest with you. Some of this older tech flies really good still. I don't see why anyone would be like, oh, they're out of date. Who's going to use them? My kids would use these. People learning how to fly drones would use these. I think they become very useful in teaching and experimenting and having fun learning how to do like the really high speed kind of cinemoop racing, I guess you want to call it. I know that people are building more compact frames, bigger motors and stuff like that, and screaming through it at ungodly speed. Like breakneck speeds through the corners and stuff. But I don't know how to fly like that. So I'm going to be quite honest with you. I don't know how to fly like that. Not yet, anyway. But another 3S packets or XT30. But these little button cells, I know that they work. They may not hold a charger very long, but I know that they're going to work for some of these drones. Some of these are set up weird with the dual 1S plugs, and then we have this looks like a unique plug, or no, it's a regular 1S plug, but these look like the newbie drones. I'm just going to have to figure out how to identify these. AI is going to get a workout. I was hoping that you guys like a lot that you would know what some of these were, or somebody recognized some of these drones and could help me out. I know this is an Emax. I don't know what the model number is or how to bind it, and I don't know what protocol this is. So I'm gonna have to. What I didn't want to have to do was take it apart just so I could look closer at the board. This looks like a pre-built system that was designed specifically in this way. just because of the type of board that's in it. So that's one of the reasons why I didn't want to, tear it apart and figure that out. So I want to identify the model on this one. And then I love the batwing type propellers on here. They're really, really cool. I imagine this one scoots. It does have FTX on it, obviously, or VTX. So it's all ready to transmit. I'm sure those goggles could pick it up. But if out of all of these that I've seen that I've played with, first off, the 280 Hawk is something I've enjoyed thoroughly. I know it's older tech, 2015. People are going, "Oh, 280 Hawk," but it's a good drone. It's still a good drone today. It really is. And it's one of those things where the classics never die. Does it have this one actually has a flight control. There was a version of this that did not have a gyro stabilizer on it. This one does. And well, hey, RCB Shred, sure, we're gonna call you Sherbert. When we get this set up, we'll get you one of these, and we'll get things going. What I'm gonna do is when that 4-in-1 controller comes in, and it's like a gamepad style controller, so it's really cool, and it does have the 4-in-1 protocol, so that'll give me the ability to figure out going through the binding procedures once I identify each one of these drones on the boards, because there's still more here. I mean, I've got this one, this one, this one. I got this one. I've got this one. This one here. I mean, it's a pile of drones, and they all work on a specific protocol. And of course, we've got the goggles that work. I've got 2 sets of these. I've got, oh, here's another thing I wanted to show you guys. I have boxes of these. Like they're called, I guess, cockroach style bodies for the frames for the mini whoops, body kits for the mini whoops. This one has motors in it and fans. It just needs the controller. But I mean, I've got this stuff is everywhere. I've got, look at it. Look at this. Frames. Why is that so heavy? It's heavy. Look at that. We gotta find homes for this stuff, guys. We gotta get you all hooked up. Oh, there's another frame. Battery tie downs on the top of another drone with 2 of the motors in it, 3 of the motors in it. And it's the good motors. All right, the good ones. We've got, what is all this stuff? Emax props. Looks like more, well, these are some weird kind of Avon prop. I have no idea. More props. Oh my gosh. I haven't even went through this bag. Oh, there's another battery. Battery box. What do we got here? We've got, this looks like a flight controller here. And that could go for one of the frames. We got that. We've got, looks like more frame parts from Emax. There's just a whole goodie bag here of that stuff. Yeah, there's more. These look like landing feet, possibly. I'm making a mess here. I got all kinds of stuff. This is hold on. We got a whole bunch more props right here. I don't know if these are all readily available still even now. If it's something that people are interested in, we've got, oh, that's cool. That's a cool silver frame right there. Got another mini loop frame here. I mean, it's just the list goes on and on and on and on and on. We've got more roach frames. Another roach. Whole bunch of props. Whole collection of props right there. Look at that. Guys, I gotta find a place. I've got to find homes for this stuff. I gotta find homes for it. Look, this has got motors in it. All ready to go for a controller. I mean, it's just piling up. Just piling up. Another frame. Another frame. Another frame. Oh my goodness. Propellers. More props. More prop. Well, one prop. Another stack of props sitting over there with the rest of the stuff. You got more props in here. Oh, I feel more. I feel more frames. I've been framed. And a whole many props right here. I mean, you guys, what am I gonna do with all this stuff? Except spread the wealth, you know? So you gotta be sticking around for these lives. You gotta be setting, making sure we got lanyards and stuff like that for the controllers. Here's a whole other frame right here with motors in it. It's just a pile. We got that and the drones, and I'm holding brand new battery straps for this class. Extra, extra props falling everywhere. Hold on. And I got stuff in the tote I haven't even taken out yet because it's a lot of these big props for the DJIs. Right? Oh, that could come in handy right there. That's your multi 1S plug right here for charger. So, I mean, look at all this, guys. We got so much. I'm gonna put the frames away so I don't accidentally mix them with the drones. We got frames galore. You guys could build what you wanted to out of all these parts. I also have, gosh, I got stuff falling everywhere. Let me clean this up a little bit. Frames, and more frame. You guys are gonna walk away with some stuff. Now I know it's probably kind of like, well, I'm gonna give this guy my address. I think there's a way to do that where I can just send this stuff to you through a third party or something like that. And we do that raffle and start getting rid of some of this stuff. And realistically, when I do that raffle, we're gonna kind of put a lot number on each one of these things. And then whoever wins that particular one, I'm gonna tell you what your lot number is. You're gonna email me and we're gonna figure something out as far as getting you your drone, if you even want it, So there's a lot to do. There's a lot to deal with. I got all these drones I gotta figure out. There's so many. It's just an awesome thing. It's an awesome thing for me because once I get that, I know when I get the Zorro in, I'm gonna have like tons of stuff to play with. And all I'm hoping is, for the most part, that most of the batteries don't detonate spontaneously. Because some of them are puffy. Some of them are puffy. I'll give you that. What else? This looks like a slightly smaller plug than the standard 1S one, which leads me to believe it's the drone for that controller because I can't charge it. Or I could charge it because it could be on here. But I do have a bag that has a whole bunch of different choices. It's a JST, I'm sorry. Yeah, it is a JST plug, battery plug. But it's a multi-balance charger. It has all the slots on it from everything from 1S all the way up to I think 6S. So we have that. I'm definitely it's also having stuff like this or propellers like the DJI's. I got many of these. It makes me want to just design a drone, find a motor that uses these, and just make a wild drone, another wild drone. Because now I've got like, this is how I create things. I look at the prop and I go, what could I do with that? I'm going to build an aircraft. I'm going to build, let's do a spruce goose with all these props. I mean, it's just insane. I'm telling you, I've got, and I want to give back to you guys. So honestly, once I figure out the protocol, once I figure out what drone is what protocol it's running on, I will give you, if you go to get FPV, you can get the radio. It's not that expensive. I'll send you a drone or two, and I'll send you some batteries. I don't know if I can safely send you some of these batteries because of their age, but typically they're going to be 1S all the way up to the XT 30s. So depending on what it is I give away to everybody, um, we'll try and hook you up with everything we can in the process. So Mr. Swain, do you have a favorite size chassis, battery, camera? Um, if you're talking about out of these, since the one controller that I do have, the Fly Sky Radio, was working, and it's basically S-Bus control. So far, this Libre 280 Hawk has been the most fun. It's got serious punch. I mean, if you look at some of the shorts that I put up on this with the yellow canopy on it, it'll take off. I mean, this thing's got some speed. It's definitely got the speed, and it's a nice drone. Why anyone would be like, I don't want a drone like that, it's too old. That's just, I'm old school, okay? And this thing right here probably chewed through some of its newer models pretty easily, you know. But it's got some power. It has some older style motors, but it has some power. It really, really does. And I have 3 of these bodies ready to go, ready for you to plug up to your JST connector, and I will tell you exactly how to plug it up to what channel on the RC or the receiver, so that you can fly this on an S-Bus controller, and then you just get that JST connection, and I'll tell you exactly how to do it, what channel goes where. It's really easy. It did take me a little bit to figure it out by finding diagrams and things like that. But this is a fun one to fly with the GoPro, get some footage, some high speed going through the trees kind of stuff. I'm surrounded by orchards. It's the only thing I can go through is trees. I don't trust myself enough to do any 3D flying. I did find the program software for this. I did find the program software for that Libre, so I can put it in here and I can set the different flight modes. One of them was called Ratitude. You can go from like basic stabilized to 3D and everything like that. It'll do 3D. I am not an acro pilot. I'm not. Okay. I do need to learn how to do some acro, which I'll probably do with one of these, or this one when I take the camera off. But again, I have another 2 of these, and I do have extra props for them. Plus, the tri blades work on them really, really well. So I've got 2 Libre 280 Hawks sitting over here. We'll raffle those off. We'll give them to you guys. And the great part about those is you don't have to have a specific controller or anything outside of 2.4 gigahertz. You can use a 2.4 gigahertz controller. You can use the receiver out of your airplane if you have an extra one, and you can set it up. Is there a way besides SEC I can upgrade my Avata 2 to make it faster, or should I just get a Halo 22 Pro? You asked me a question I can't, I can't even answer. I don't know. I'm not afraid to say that term. I don't know. And the reason why is because I still don't know what all these do. I mean, I still don't know what controller works for them, what protocol. That's why I got the 4-in-1 ordered and on the way here, so we can do that and get these things flying. I wish I could answer your question. I just don't know it. And if I don't know it, I'm not gonna sit here and try and guess. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm with you on that one on the DJI frame. Don't want a DJI. No. What's interesting is this old 250 QX. This is an odd one because I had a 350 QX, same color scheme. And I'm wondering, this is a very weird. Oh, I know what battery goes to that one. All right, we're gonna have to deal with that later because I don't know what controller goes to this. I don't know if this is sort of like a look at it. It's got an FTX mount for a camera. That looks like a power supply right there for a small camera. And I know I've got extra 5-volt cameras on these Libres, but finding out what controller you actually pushes this one. See, I don't know if this is a clone or not. That's the thing. I know it's branded 250QX, but I don't know if that's a clone or if it's actually from Blade. You know what I mean? I mean, it says Blade on the case, so, but a lot of people kind of, they cloned a lot of this stuff back in the day. So I'm going to try and find the radio for this. And if it's just a standard 4-in-1 protocol, we're going to use this one too. But this would be a cool one to run around. It's a tiny drone, and I got extra props for this too. Plus, can you imagine just dropping a tri-blade on here and seeing what that does? That's what I did with the Libre. With this one here, because I have so many different sets of props, different sizes, different styles. Oh, it's kind of hard to see because it's clear. I went ahead and I dropped a set of tri-bladed props on here, and it worked good. It would scream, and it's just like I don't see why people are taking these and going, they're not worth using anymore because they're 2015, blah 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 blah, but they're driving around a '69 Chevelle, whatever. Um, I think that every one of these has value no matter what the age is, because there's going to be someone out there who's getting into this hobby that's going to go, that'd be a cool piece to have. So you were saying they just make good goggles and controllers. That I'll give you. As far as the goggles and stuff are concerned, there was a plane I was looking at, too expensive for me. It has those DJI goggles. I forget what they're called. Um, you know which one I'm talking about. It looks like that you got the antennas going out the top and bottom. I forget what that's called. But this is more of a VTOL reconnaissance plane and has the camera on it. You can also strap like the GoPro on the top for some really cool footage. Uh, the interesting part about that drone is it had that 1 hour and 30-minute flight time, which was really interesting. Like you drop a decent battery in there, you got 1 hour and 30 minutes in the air, and it's a VTOL. It's a VTOL craft, airplane VTOL. It was a beautiful plane. Yeah, the V2. I know which ones you're talking about. I wanted to get that kit, but it was too expensive. Um, the plane was not DJI, obviously, but it was a nice reconnaissance kind of, you set waypoints, fly autonomously, that kind of thing, doing land surveying if that's what you're into. And that's another thing. That's the reason why I have all of this is because of bird's eye aerial drones. These guys are great. They do that kind of thing. They do the land surveying. They do the surveying for construction. They do inspections on the line work. They do inspections on winter. I mean, they do everything that you can think can be done with a drone as a business. And they have like 28,000 missions under their belt. They have just so much. If you check out their site and you're looking for that kind of service for anything, check out Bird's Eye Aerial Drones. That's where you want to go. But for me here in my garage, I just thank them for the wealth of that they knew my mind. They knew they could put this in front of me and my ADHD would automatically go, and this will lock up an ADHDer right here. This will dead lock us up like an engine with no oil in it. Okay, because now we're gonna be like, not only do we not know which one we want to start with, we don't know where to start with the one we don't know what to start with. Does that make sense? I will keep you in mind, Bridget. Absolutely. I do want to do a raffle, but if you're interested in like a blade or something like that, and you have a controller for it already, let me know. I do kind of want to do a raffle for everyone so it's fair for everybody. But if I have extra stuff, then we'll hook you up. We'll hook you up. You got to remember, I got a lot of stuff. I got props. I've got body frames. I've got the drones themselves. I've got, and like I said, this is like, I feel like a diabetic that dove into a Skittles bag. I know it sounds horrible, but that's like the only analogy I can come up with. I can't wrap my head around what I'm looking at because there's too many, and I want to fly them all, and I want to know why all of them won't work right now, and I can't stop thinking about it. Redlands, where's that at? Where is Redlands at? Sorry, it's getting warm in my shop, so I got flies that are bothering me. Oh, okay. Well, I'm in California too, so it's not that far away. Um, yeah, you know what? I have. If you go to my channel page, you can get my email from there. Send me an email. Um, we'll go back and forth to some pictures. If you got a controller for one of these, I want to see you make it work. And if you make it work, I want you to do a video for me and show me. And if you allow me to post that, I'll be like, yes, we found a home for one. Somebody knew what they were doing. They got the drone. It's working. For safety reasons, I probably can't send you the batteries for them because then there's a hazmat fee, and these are older batteries. So if you get a 1S or a 3S or a 2S, you'll have to get your own battery for that. But anybody interested, just let me know. Email me, sign up. It helped. If you like the live for me, subscribe if you haven't already, and be looking for my other content. You can become a member if you want to. I don't have member perks set up. It's more of like a voluntary thing of support. But now I have a whole table full of member perks. So, I've got frames, props, all kinds of that. So, let's make some people happy, shall we? Um, yeah, definitely. Okay, yeah, just email me, let me know, and we'll go from there. And if you can handle your batteries and you got a controller for one, then you could help me out, man. That's what it's all about. It's like if you show the controller you use, how you bound it, and which type it is, if it's FR Sky, if it's anything like that, then it'll kind of help me out to figure out what I'm doing with the rest of these. So we are going to do another live, or we'll probably end up setting up a long run video, like I said, so I can raffle a lot of this stuff off because I'll keep one or two for myself, obviously, at least one. 'Cause I don't see myself using these very often, um, mainly because I'm not good at this as far as these tiny FPV super fast racing drones. So We know this one's a racer just because of the type of motors it has. It's the brushless, and it has those big lights on the back. I'm gonna try binding this one first because it's really cool. I feel like it was set up for racing. I feel like a couple other these drones, like these with fiber frames, were set up for racing. Um, so yeah. The daily uh Dushin. Am I saying that right? I'm sorry. Bifocals. Um, the controller that I'm waiting on is a Radio Master Zorro. It's a 4-in-1 because I know none of this is ELRS. So it's a 4-in-1 protocol that's going to help me figure out what controls these drones. And if it doesn't, I have it for some other project. I didn't know. So we're gonna find out together because as soon as that controller comes in, we're gonna go on another live, and I'm gonna sit here and try and figure it out. By then, hopefully, I will have identified most of these boards to where I can go in and say it's this protocol and fly the drone and see how it works. Because like these 3S ones, I really want to fly. I'll probably pick up some 3S packs that work for this. This looks like, well, this looks like a 2S or possibly, yeah, this looks like a 2S just by the size of the frame here. And then we have this bigger one, which does hold the 3S. So we know that this one's a 3S. And I know that because it's got a separate ESC. I see a binding button. Yeah, there's a binding button right there. But see, this one is a single built-in ESC board stack. This one here actually has the flight controller and a stacked ESC on there. So I know this one's going to have a lot more power, a lot more speed. And it's got a really nice case and a decent sized lens on the video camera. So I kind of think this one's going to be one of the fastest ones, designed for racing, I assume. You have ELRS version but plan on building improve up. Yeah, ground up. Well, you're talking about you have an ELRS version of. I actually have. They're kind of cheap, I guess, but the box of this stuff came with 2 of these, so I ordered some lollipop antennas. They work pretty good. Um, they work pretty good as far as scanning. You can scan through them pretty much, like on the Libre 280 here. When I had the video camera on this one, um, yeah, I was able to scan and hook up to it fine. And so this kind of scans through the frequencies, I guess, like most goggles do, because I don't have a lot of FPV experience. And they connect to it just fine. The problem is I have glasses, so these don't really work, which is why I need the DJI goggles when I want to do anything. I need the ones specialized for old blind people. But that's how that works. Oh, I also have, it looks like I got a couple of mystery boxes here with, it looks like frame covers for the smaller drones. I don't know what this stuff is. It's like an XT30, some props. It's from I can't read this. D prop, Q prop. I don't know what the heck it is. We've got some. Oh, we've got some elbows for the VTX antennas right here. Some 45s for the VTX antennas. Um, Covers. These are like for micro something or other. I don't know what the heck they're for. A bunch of props. The smaller 4 and 3 blade props here. So that's one of the mystery cases that came. And then they fit snug into the goggles, so I can use those goggles. That'll be a good thing. You're already helping me out. Then we've got this other mystery box here. Not so much a mystery. It does have a whole bunch of small parts, which comes in handy with all these drones. And then we got, oh, this is what I wanted to show you right here. We've got the, we have some adapters. And then we have this very useful device with all the cables. So I can charge everything. And we've got a different, yeah, and I have a charger for these. And then I can just use this right here to charge the different styles of batteries and stuff that I'm working with. To get them charged up, like the 3S ones and stuff like that. Because I have a bunch of the smaller, like 2S and 1S chargers lying around. Like, I had one back there. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. The Pocket has a CC 2500 chip, which apparently might work with those older drones. Okay, so that is that the same one I got in the Zorro? Because what I did is I went to get FPV and I needed a 4-in-1. I was using AI to try and figure this out. And the AI mentioned a 4-in-1. You need a 4-in-1 protocol to be able to run any one of these. So I'm hoping that I made the right purchase. Either way, I know it's going to work with one or two of them. So I think we're going to be all right there. And I think the idea is that we're going to try and get as many of these drones basically flying. And once I do that, I won't be able to send batteries, like I said, because that's sort of a touchy situation, especially with older batteries that are puffing up and things like that. Plus, you got to think about hazmat fees. You know how the U.S. Postal Service is. I'm sure you guys either have 1S, 2S, or 3S and batteries laying around. If not, you can pick them up pretty cheap. They're going to be fairly inexpensive, I'm guessing, for batteries that small. So if you end up getting one of these from me, I'm going to send you the drone. Get yourself hooked up, get your radio, get your batteries. I'll try and make sure you know exactly which radio and battery to get if you're interested. And I don't know, I just want to spread the love, you know what I mean? That's the plan. So as far as I know, with Zorro 4-in-1 from Radio Master should control most, if not all, of these drones. Because from what the AI told me, I think a lot of them are FR Sky. A lot of them, like the Blade, some are, a lot of them might be proprietary, but I don't see why Blade would say, here's a drone, you can only use our controller with it. But you can't put that past some company. So I think it's just going to be a matter of waiting when the controller gets here. We're going to see what happens. And I personally want to connect as many. This is the one thing I was wondering. Can you connect, if you have more than one drone that uses the same protocol, can you connect to all of them at the same time? You don't see my email? Should be able to go right to my channel page. And then like you click the about or whatever, I guess, and it should be up there. If not, I mean, it's the same as it's basically dronepowerconcepts@gmail.com. So it's the name of me, what I do. So dronepowerconcepts@gmail.com. Just write me and we'll see where we can go and get accomplished. And this in the subject line, just put, like drone haul or something like that. and we'll that way I know it's for this live. And then we'll talk. Um, so it's weird how you guys can see my email. I'll have to make sure you guys can. I have, like I said, I have a Patreon and I have a buy me a coffee thing where people donate if they want to. None of this is obligatory. It's I'm just throwing it out there. Some people like to help when they can. Um, they like to support channels. I appreciate that. It's never something I obligate people to do. None of my decisions on what I might give away here in the next live or the next couple of videos hinges on whether or not you're a member or whether or not you donated something. I ain't like that. Okay. I got blessed with this, so I'm gonna bless some other people with it. And that's what we're gonna do. So now that the temperature is climbing in the garage and becoming a toasty 90 some odd degrees, I may not be on very much longer, but what I will say is I want you to make sure that you watch for videos coming up in the next couple of days where I take this out, this old 2015 Libra 280 Hog, and just tear it up. Not wreck it, I'm hoping, tear it up, but like tilt the camera back and just rip through the tree lines and stuff like that. I mean, because I'm going to get some smooth video out of this Hero 13 Black. I'm not going to be flying at FPV because, like I said, I got a really fat head and I'm not going to fit them in those goggles, especially with glasses. If I took the glasses off, I wouldn't be able to see the damn screen anyway. But we'll figure it out. You have a soft spot for this drone? I know it's cool. And someone's going to get one of these because I've got two more of these drones. And the fact that they run off of an S Bus controller is awesome. And they run off of 4S packs. I think you can run them off 3S or 4S. But I was running 1500 milliamp and 850. Now it'll eat through the 850 and the 15s pretty quick. I think they called for like 16, 17, or maybe even 1800 milliamp. It'll handle the weight. I can tell you that. But using these packs here, it rips. And I mean, it'll hop up pretty quick. So, there's a point where you just can't go too fast. Because I see a lot of people do that. They're like, tilt the drone forward and go at like 200 miles an hour. And I honestly think it looks cool and sounds cool, but flying that thing is like you're probably taking a ton of Dramamine. So, you know, it's nice on the DJI goggles 3. They have 3 special lenses. They act like you're actually. Yeah, I read that. I was reading about that. How they have lenses that it's like a diopter or something like that. Anyway, the point is you can get your prescription for those goggles. That's what's cool. And that's why I wanted to get them, but it was too much. I couldn't justify spending it on that particular um, plane. So I think I'm getting a glider. I forget the name of it. Hold on one second. I was about to check my phone. You guys are watching me on. So hold on a second. Let me find out what the name of that thing is. Oh wait, hold on. Hold on a second. We're gonna find it. Get this computer to work. Okay. Um. Flies are pissing me off. Okay. Oh, it's the Volant VOLANTEXRC. Volantex is a Phoenix 2400. So it's a 2400 millimeter glider. And I think the radio I'm pairing with it is a Spectrum NX7E X, I think. I just got, hold on. Okay, I just got the receiver for it, and it's this AR6610T, I think. This one. So, and I'm going to be using the Spectrum NX7E Plus, I think is what it is. And then of course it's the Volantix. I don't know how you say that. VOLANTEX RC. It's the Phoenix 2400. It takes a 4S. It's a 4S powered glider. I know that. 8-foot wingspan. I always loved the large gliders. I miss the Super Sky Surfer. It's one of my favorite ones. Yeah, it's Banana Hobby. Nobody really likes Banana Hobby, but it didn't matter because they were just a distributor. They might have put cheap electronics in it, which I can vouch for because I had, one of their Russian jets. I think no, it wasn't a 74. SU 34, something like that. Anyway, it was a twin 70, and it just didn't have the power because they just did it cheap. But these foam bodies come from, they basically contract out, someone to make a mold for a specific plane, and then they get it in and paint it up and put. And Banana Hobby had to have putting cheap hardware into the systems, because at the time people really didn't know what they were getting into. They didn't know that they were, they could do it themselves and put their own motor, their own ESCs, and a lot of the people who were really into it already knew, but realistically, they knew that most people were buying it for ready to flies. You get ripped on a ready to fly just because you wouldn't get good equipment. But so I'm going with a Spectrum. This is the receiver for that glider. I have a 6,000 milliamp graphene LiPo already that I plan on using in it. 8-foot wingspan, EPO foam, carbon fiber reinforcements, that kind of thing. You plug in the servos and the wings do clip into place. So it's kind of nice. I really wanted the FMS Fox, but they went through. It's like every time you want something and you're like, you know what, I'm going to try and see if I can get that. You can go back to it, and it's like some of the places have discontinued it, and some are saying pre-order. So I don't know if they're gearing up for another run of this stuff or what, but that FMS Fox 3000 millimeter, I love the way it sounds in the air. And I kind of get it with this Phoenix from the videos that I've seen. So I'm really excited to get that one out there and fly it around. And it has apparently 2 canopies in it, so you can put a GoPro on there or another camera. So we're gonna fly that one line of sight, obviously, because it's a glider. We're gonna video from the ground, and we're gonna have the onboard footage and go from there. I have to abide by Part 107 because my channel is monetized, so we're not soaring into the clouds or anything like that, unfortunately, because there are Part 107 rules. Thanks for playing your music so loud. Appreciate it. Whole neighborhood can hear it. Could you turn it up? My point is, there's Part 107 rules that I have to abide by. So it's like you see a lot of videos where people fly into the clouds and stuff like that, and you can't do that. when you're flying under 107 rules, you cannot fly like that. You have to stay 2,000 feet, like away from clouds, and 2,000 feet away from the underside, and you can't fly into them. 500 feet away from the outside of the cloud, or 2,000 feet, 500 on the. But you can only go up to 400 AGL anyway, so you can't go any higher than that. I don't know about recreational flying, but if I put it on my channel, it's not considered recreational flying. It's considered monetized. Two Vorp, how you doing? Welcome to the chat. So because it's considered monetized, I fall under Part 107. That's one of the things you have to consider if you're flying a drone and you have a monetized channel. If it's over 250 grams, it falls under Part 107 up to 55 pounds, and it can't weigh more than 55 pounds. And you have to have, and on smaller drones, depending on the size, some like you can't fly over crowds if it can do more than 25 pounds, or I'm sorry, 11 pounds of kinetic energy damage. And if you do fly over someone and they need to be aware of it. And then, of course, if you fly over someone, even if they're in a building and the kinetic energy is over 25 or 22 to 25 pounds of kinetic energy that can be delivered if there's a crash, then you have to let everybody know in the area that you're flying. So when you're flying under Part 107, it limits you in the sense to where you're not a recreational flyer. So anything I put on here, if I monetize the video, I can't fly, above 400 feet, even with a recreational glider. And who would want to fly that high anyway with a recreational glider? So there are recreational rules that differ, but you also have to know your flight zone. So I got my app that tells me what zones that I can fly in. I'm in Class G airspace pretty much everywhere. So they make it really difficult for you to fly anywhere. And if you monetize the video, you're automatically under the Part 107 rules. So even if I'm flying my glider recreationally and I post it online and that video is monetized, I have to have followed every Part 107 rule in that flight. So luckily where I'm located, I have a lot of Class G airspace. I don't have a lot of controlled airspace, but I do always watch Flight Radar, and I always watch, there's another app, I forget the name of it, like Flight Buddy or something like that. But it lets me know if there's, because I don't want to get in the way of the crop dusters that are around, because we have a lot of orchards and stuff like that in fields. You got to watch out for those guys because they're just doing their job, and you don't want to cause an accident. So, and under Part 107, you have to yield right of way to traffic. So if they're under 400 feet, you have to yield right of way to them. Basically, you have to do everything in your possibility or in your ability to get away from the aircraft. Now, sometimes that can mean breaching the ceiling of 400 feet above sea level, or 400 feet, that's mean sea level, 400 feet above ground level. So it's 400 feet AGL is your ceiling, but if it's the only thing you can do to avoid another aircraft, there are situations where you can go above the 400 feet AGL, but you have to, depending on the incident, you have to make a report to the FAA within 10 days, things like that. So it gets real complicated when you get into the RPIC license or the Part 107. Honestly, I don't even know what guerrilla whooping is. That's the whole thing. I've got like all these drones here, and when I get the controller, I'll know which ones work well, and I'll fly them around. But they're basically sub 250s, so they don't fall under the 107 parts. Unless, well, actually, I don't even think they fall under 107 if I monetize them, any of the videos, because they're so light. If they're under 250 grams, they're fine. But what's guerrilla whooping? I'm consider me the whooping noob, okay? I'm not afraid to say it. So, like, explain it to me. What's gorilla whooping? Oh, when I'm going to start buying them. When that radio comes in, I think it's Wednesday. I don't know. So we'll set up another live for it so we can do it all on camera. If one of them takes off on me or eats my finger or something like that, you guys will have some fun to watch, you know? We fly in areas like in malls or businesses that don't give you, oh, um, that's okay. I understand what you're saying. I honestly don't know if, because if it's a sub 250, like if it's sub 250 on the grams, I think if you could fly in a building. But again, if it's private property and they don't allow you to fly through there, then, but a mall is a public space. So that's sort of like an on the fence kind of question. It doesn't fall under part 107 if the drone is low. I think it's just a matter of somebody saying, you could fly until someone says, we don't want you to fly here. But a mall is a public space. So, and if it's sub 250, I think you could probably fly it. It's an indoor whoop, so it's shrouded, so you're not going to really hurt anybody unless you smack them right in the face. There's always a risk involved, and I'm not saying go do it because I don't know the specific rules. I think it's going to be if it's a sub 250 gram situation, and you're in a mall and you're flying around. I think you'd be all right until somebody said, "Hey, you can't do that. Get it out of here," and then you'd have to stop. I would. I mean, I personally wouldn't do it to begin with because, well, two reasons. One, I don't think they'd like it, and two, I'm not good enough to not hit somebody. So, um, I imagine that because it's sub 250 and it's a public area, you could legally on paper. Am I saying you should? No, I'm not saying you should. But if you go by the numbers, then I think public space legally sub 250. Yeah, you could probably fly in the mall. But then you got to consider people. You got to be respectful of them. Um, I think there might be some security concerns around FLIR, just because, especially if it's zoomable under Part 107, we have to flies. I live in around an orchard, so it's like, where's my fly sweater? Here it is. You shall all die now. Come here, flies. Um, what was I saying? Oh yeah, FLIR thermal lidar. I think you have to have um well, I don't know. I don't think you have to have special licensing for LiDAR or FLIR. Um, I think that if you have a zoomable camera, um, it's just like filming in public. No one can stop you from filming in public. But if you're flying over something that points into somebody's private space and you're filming, that's not cool. I don't think that's legal at all. I think that's an obvious thing you wouldn't do. Police use FLIR and stuff like that for reconnaissance when they're chasing a subject down or whatever. But just because you can record someone on your phone from the street doesn't necessarily mean it's always legal to do it from the air in a public space. Just because you have the ability to peer out of the public realm and into the backyards and houses and windows of private citizens. So I think that there's a red line there you can't cross. Um, that's just my thought. Uh, I don't think they get punishment. I think what happens is it's like people skateboarding where they're not supposed to. They get the video, they do it. You've seen people doing the skating like really fast down like country roads and stuff like that down a mountain. I don't think that's legal. I don't think there's a law against riding your skateboard on the street, but I also don't think that it's legal for somebody to be doing 60 on it with a car right behind them filming. It's almost like the same reason like you can't be operating a vehicle and you can't be operating a vehicle and a drone at the same time. Like you can't like on a boat you can use a drone as long as you're not piloting the boat and you want to use the drone to film. So you can do that. But the people who are doing that, where they're kind of going through past people and stuff like that, um, again, it's the sub 250 rule. I think it all falls within that sub 250 rule. I think it's legal for you to do it, but I think that it goes on a case by case basis. If somebody has a complaint and then calls an authority in and goes, we don't really want, this guy almost hit me with his drone, then the cop could probably say, you know what, you got to stop. But inherently, you're outside, you're in a public space, you are flying a drone over people, but if it's sub 250, then it doesn't fall under Part 107. So you're not bound by it. It's more of a recreation, flyer kind of thing. And that's more about using your judgment. Do I accidentally want to hit somebody? It's about more courtesy than legality. Because if you do end up hitting somebody, then it could be a legality. They could call it an assault. And so you got to kind of consider that. And you don't want to hurt a kid or anything like that by accidentally running your drone into him. So when people are flying down sidewalks and around people to get those sort of cinematic shots, while it's legal to film in public, legal to fly in public, it's all about courtesy. It's just like if you're sitting in the park and somebody else comes down to sit in the same park, it's okay as long as they don't sit in your lap. Of course, it depends on who's sitting in your lap. But the point is, you see what I'm talking about? It's like that private space thing. It's like you can walk past somebody on the sidewalk, but if you step right in front of them and get right in their face, there's a boundary there. There's like a personal boundary space that applies. So it's more about being, having courtesy towards others and not taking the risk of accidentally harming someone, especially a child. Because you could be like avoiding a parent and swoop down and hit the back of a kid in the head. You don't want to do that. Okay? So I think it crosses some lines once it gets to that point. If you're using people as like tiny obstacles, I think it's just I don't think it's a good idea. I wouldn't recommend it. Yeah, a lot of people you're gonna run into a lot of those guys. You're gonna run into a lot of Karens, Kevins and Karens, and a lot of them are gonna complain just because they don't have one. They don't know how to do it. It's cool, but they don't have one, so it irritates them. Um, but realistically, if you're flying over people, it's always a good idea to say, okay, well, we've got people over here, we've got people over here. Let's just avoid them altogether. Because some of them will complain, like, are you filming me? I'm sure you've probably heard it, right? Um, as far as long range goes, I've been, I work with INAV and other things, and I've been building some crafts that can do long range waypoint type of maneuvers, fly autonomously, things like that. My DARPA project is like that. It's controlled by INAV, so I could set waypoints and fly it autonomously. Um, but yeah, I've had some experience in that. Um, but as far as getting back to the park, I think sometimes it's just some people are nasty. So you might not be harming anybody. You might be 30 feet in the air and it doesn't matter where you're flying, and they'll complain anyway. That's just the way of it. It's best in this hobby just to avoid problems whenever necessary. Because some people just get mad because you're having fun and you may be doing everything legal, and they just don't like the fact that you're having fun. So just, give them their space, have your fun. If they complain about filming, just say, I'm in a public space. I can film if I want to. That's all there is to it. I'm not filming you particularly. I'm not filming people's houses. I'm not filming into people's backyards. But it's just like filming with your phone in public. You can legally film in public, on a public sidewalk, in a public park with your phone. It's totally legal. And I don't think that there's any real difference between that and an FPV drone, other than the fact that we want to make sure that we keep a safe and respectable distance away from other patrons of the park. That's all there is to it. And that would be my best advice. And make sure your drone is under 250 grams. Because if you're over 250, you automatically have to have a 107. Now, you don't necessarily have to if you're flying recreationally. There's a difference between recreational flying and non-recreational flying. So if you're flying something that's a little over 250, it's a slightly bigger drone like a Mavic Pro and stuff like that. I don't know if you have to fly that under a 107 unless you're doing something commercially, unless you're actually making money doing it. But if you're just doing it for your own personal, I want to get this video, I don't think you need to be under Part 107 for that, but don't quote me on that one. It could be wrong. Yes, drones are a lot of fun. They are a lot of fun. And I have a lot I got to get through here. And it's getting a lot hotter in here. And I'm going to go inside here in a minute and cool off. But I do appreciate everyone that did drop by. I hope that you've subscribed, like, comment, donate, become a member, sign over your car. I'm kidding. I'm totally fine. I'm totally kidding. I'm totally kidding. Mortgage, maybe. Just, that guy, I'm playing around. You don't have to give me anything at all. Firstborn child. It's just, I want you to have fun on this channel. I want you to see the other experimental content that I've been doing, because I've been doing some big drones. I'm going to be getting back into it, but I was caught up with the DARPA project. I wasn't able to actually put any video out of that because kind of wanted to keep my builds secret, until the competition. But you will see me at Flight Fest on August 2nd through the 9th, and you will see me at the DARPA Lift Challenge on August 2nd through the 9th at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio. And then you will see my glorious heavy lift drone in all of its glory, either completely and totally smash the record or the ground. One way or another, it's going to be spectacular. So I appreciate each and every single one of you that dropped by today. I hope you enjoyed the content. Be looking for the shorts and the posts that I put out about these drones for the next live, the next video. We're going to be finding homes for these things. And once again, I want to thank all of you for dropping by. I appreciate you. I have been DPC, and it's going to take me an unprofessional amount of time. That's not even a word. To stop this stream, because I had to get up and hit off because I'm filming with the front of it. Anyway, your point. Love you all. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. And thank you once again. Hey, Ariel, in the phone. Bird's Eye Aerial Drones for sponsoring me for all this lovely gear. Because I'm going to have some fun with it. All right, guys. I've been DPC. I'm out into the air conditioning and grabbing something to drink and then kicking back and relaxing for the rest of the weekend, which is almost over. Don't worry about Mondays, guys. Mondays love you. Over now, guys. See you later next time.